Hi, it's Diane Viola here, and I'd like to introduce you to my new workshop on behalf of our mothers. This is a workshop which is basically from a systemic family constellations perspective, looking to address social issues. I had the really distinct privilege back in February 2016 to facilitate a couple of social issues constellations, one on the issue of domestic and family violence, which just completely blew me away in terms of what is possible, how we can take issues that concern all of us really and put them into the context of a constellation and begin to really shift the energy around the things that we are wanting to change. So this workshop on behalf of our mothers has a few different purposes, I guess. And within the context of the day itself, everyone who comes and participates in the workshop will have the opportunity to pretty much step into the lives of their mother and to have a greater sense of compassion for them. And with that, if there's anything that might be, hanging around as incomplete for you with your mum, this is a real chance for you to come to a place of much greater peace. Also, we will be looking at what are the things that our own mothers were not able to deal with or address, or didn't have the benefits of the kind of either awareness or changes that we're currently going through. So many of us have, with our mothers, perhaps really wanted them to have had a better experience of life. Or perhaps as their children, we may have suffered as a result of what was happening to them. And of course, there are some very common, unfortunately, issues that we might then address. So it may be around the issue of domestic and family violence. It may be around issues of mental illness. It could have things to do with their own relationship and family lives. So we know that in the past, women, particularly, across all cultures, but really, women didn't have the same opportunities that they have today. They weren't always free to choose the life that they wanted to live. And of course, we in the Western world are very fortunate that for the most part, we do have choice today. And yes, there's still more to be done there. What I find and have found in working with people is that as we grow and as we develop and as we are able to entertain possibilities for our lives that perhaps hadn't been available to our parents, then at times we may unconsciously be holding ourselves back rather than being able to move forward. Or perhaps it was the things that we tried to do on behalf of our mothers as their children, which really wasn't our job, that may have held us back in our lives. So there's a dual purpose here. Here we will get the opportunity, if it's an issue that we would like to look at for ourselves, of really being able to have a deeper compassion and understanding, but also not only to leave with our mothers, but to leave with whomever was responsible for causing the pain or creating the lack of opportunity or abundance that they endured, so that then we can step forward into our lives much more fully, being able to see that our mothers are resting in peace, or experiencing peace if they're still here with us, of course. I'd like to just suggest that there are many, many issues. And when I was looking at this, I think I became quite overwhelmed by what those issues were for women. I'm almost 60, and so my mum, who was 21 years older than me, so I come from that era, and for the women of my mother's era, they were referred to, or that generation was referred to, as the silent generation and the generation of no change. And we in the world today are seeing just what it takes to open up our mouths and speak and stand up for or against certain things. Our parents, including, our mothers and fathers, didn't have that available to them. So we have a lot of healing to do from the things that have come before us. And I do believe that as we are able to bring healing to things that heretofore we have just not had the opportunity to do, then we will be freer to move forward, to be able to literally stand on the shoulders of our mothers, and bring into being the kinds of changes that we really are wanting to see in the world today. So I invite you to join me in this workshop. It's an amazing experience to be a part of. Please bring with you whatever it is that you'd like to see be healed for women. And please understand that this workshop is an invitation for men and women, because we are all, when our mothers weren't respected, weren't loved, when they suffered, we all suffer. And this is the thing I think that we must remember, that the changes that we are working toward are not just for women, they are for all of us. So I look forward to seeing you and sharing this day with you. Thanks very much. Diane Viola from Positive Relating.